I can't promise that you're gonna get cupcakes when you go to eat there, but it happened to us, and it was a very special moment. Look at those sprinkles. I want some of those right now. It is Sunday, January 9th, 2022, and on this week's edition of Sunday Sofatime, we're beginning the two-part Orlando Food Showcase Extravaganza. Did you make it through the intro? Are you still here? If you are, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope you don't have an empty stomach. I hope you're not sitting at work right now and it's like 11 o'clock in the morning and you have an hour and a half until your lunch break, because this is not going to be easy for you. And let me just warn you in advance, today's episode includes churros. As most of you know, in December, I spent a little more than 2 weeks in Florida, doing some home office in Florida, spending some time being a Floridian.
Getting COVID.
And I also visited almost all of the major parks there, at least one variation of the major chains of parks there. And I wanted to make this video not only because I know people are just interested in what food options are out there, but also I feel like the food, the selection of food and the prices, especially the prices, are things that not enough people showcase in these kind of Florida videos. How many vloggers are out there right now that do like weekly or even daily Disney World videos or Universal Studios videos? And I feel like, well, I love to watch those, but I feel like very rarely do they talk about the price of food. So in this two-part series, it's two parts because there's just so much to show you. In this two-part series, I'm gonna go through everything that I ate and a lot of things that the people I was with ate too, so you can get some of the meaty options as well, show you how it was presented, tell you a little bit about what we thought it tasted like, talk about the price, and a little bit about the atmosphere and the whole package. And in today's video, we're gonna be visiting Legoland, Disney Springs, Busch Gardens, and Disney's Animal Kingdom. In part 2, we're visiting Discovery Cove, Disney's Hollywood Studios, Universal Studios Orlando, and Universal's Islands of Adventure. So without further ado, let's get into the two-part Orlando Food Showcase Extravaganza. I did it again. All right, we're gonna start with Legoland, and I know Legoland is a park that many of my Disney and Universal fans don't really have on their radar, but as I said in the dedicated video that I made about our entire day at Legoland, it's really worth a visit. They had some surprisingly well-themed and good interactive dark rides, as well as a couple really fun roller coasters, and it's just a nice sort of relaxing theme park to visit. You know, visiting especially a Disney park can be really stressful with all the planning you have to do in advance before you even get there, and then once you get there, trying to stay on your time plan and, you know, all those things. And Legoland is pretty chill. You show up, there's not so many attractions that you can't sort of see everything you want to see, even if it's pretty crowded. We had a nice fun day at Legoland, and the first thing that I want to show you from what we ate was from the Legoland Coffee Company. It's way past lunchtime and we are looking for some place to eat, but it's not easy because most of them are closed. It took us a while to find some place. We're up towards the front of the park and I'm having a sun-dried tomato and spinach feta cheese hummus wrap, and it only costs $5, so for theme park food, that's not that bad. Most of the other bigger parks nowadays, especially Disney and Universal, they have like full-on Starbucks in the parks now. Coffee, especially iced coffee, has become a super popular drink, not only when people are visiting theme parks, but like for everyday life. And Legoland now is offering that kind of option at the Legoland Coffee Company. And to tell you the truth, this wasn't the place that we wanted to eat, but on our day at Legoland, quite a few of the dining options were not operated, including a really fun-looking taco bar. So we ended up at the Legoland Coffee Company. This is the Tavern Ham and Baby Swiss croissant. Also, $5. Not bad for theme park food. So the prices were good. My wrap was actually a very large portion for not even $6. The taste was okay. The food came on like throwaway paper plates, and the atmosphere in the coffee company was a very minimal atmosphere. I wouldn't say it's something that's like there isn't like a fun to eat there factor of this place. But the price, not bad at all. Now, there's another thing that if you go to Legoland that you have to try, and that's the famous Granny's apple fries. I've actually never had these before, but everybody I talked to who knows Legoland told me that you cannot leave the park without trying these, so here goes. What these are deep fried apple strips in cinnamon sugar on vanilla ice cream with caramel sauce. Well, all right. This is ridiculously tasty. It's apples, which is fruit, and fruit is healthy, right? It's warm, it's a little bit crunchy. You got the soft, creamy ice cream. This is definitely, I would eat 2 of these before I would eat another one of those red velvet cheesecakes that we got yesterday. So good. So that was our food experience at Legoland. I would definitely get those apple fries again. We actually chose a portion to split, and next time I go, I'm just gonna get my own portion. I would love to try some of the other food options at Legoland, especially that, I think, every day is Taco Tuesday bar. I think that's what it's called. And I guess I forgot to say this, but these options are absolutely not any kind of me trying to say, this is the best place to eat at the park, this is the highlight. It's really just, this is where we ended up going, and so I'm gonna show you what we picked out. I'm sure that there are definitely better things to eat at most of these parks, or things that are more, you know, to your taste, but like I said, this is just what we ended up eating and what I'm showing you. So the next place we're gonna take a look at is Disney Springs. Okay, I know Disney Springs is technically not a theme park. There's no real like rides there. You don't pay an entrance fee. It is more of a shopping district, but because it is so highly themed and there's so much Disney magic everywhere, I kind of feel like it's an experience to go there. So I thought I would show you what we had while we were there in this extravaganza. And that is Blaze Pizza. Now, I know from some of you commenting on my video from that day that there are Blaze Pizzas at other places in the United States or in North America, so this is also something that you don't have to go all the way to Disney Springs for, but we did go there, and the way I would describe Blaze Pizza is it's kind of like the Subway of pizza places. You go in there, there's a big counter with all the ingredients, you pick out your crust, you pick out your sauce, you pick out your toppings, and then they make it for you. And I also recorded a little bit while we were there, so let's take a look at that right now. Fresh, and these 2 pizzas with 2 small drinks was around $30, and it is just so good. I don't know what about it that makes it so good, but I'm willing to come to Disney Springs for it. Oh, wait a second, now I know why they're so tasty. It's because they're made with 100% pure fire. I love Blaze Pizza. I think we've eaten there probably the last 4 or 5 times we've gone to Orlando. And I mean, this time we drove to Disney Springs basically just to get Blaze Pizza. There is no entrance fee, and surprisingly enough, for visiting Disney, you don't even have to pay for parking. The atmosphere at Blaze Pizza, the inside of it, there's something about it that seems sort of like ski chalet, kind of like log cabin-y in a way, if I remember it correctly. And outside, there's a big area of outside seating on 2 sides of the restaurant. One of them will give you a view of like, for people watching, passing by, and the other side is a nice view over this sort of river that flows through Disney Springs. The pizzas are served on like metal trays, and altogether I really enjoy Blaze Pizza, and I personally can highly recommend it when you go to Disney Springs. Next up is Busch Gardens. Busch Gardens is not an Orlando theme park, it is down in Tampa. It's about, if you're staying at one of the Disney resorts, it's gonna take you about 1 hour and 20 minutes to drive there. If you drive really fast, you might make it in an hour. Busch Gardens has some really great, really big roller coasters and some fun animal habitats. It's kind of similar to Disney's Animal Kingdom, but without the whole fantasy side of it. You're gonna pay at least around $90 to get inside. All these ticket prices I've been showing you, the ticket prices for the parks in Florida, they fluctuate during the year, depending on if it's a busy time or a not so busy time. So take all these ticket prices with a grain of salt, inform yourself. on the official website of the park for the day you want to go there, how much it's going to cost. So in the middle of Busch Gardens, one of like the original attractions at the park is the Festhaus, which originally was sort of built like a German beer tent atmosphere, and nowadays it's been greatly changed, and it's basically now a food court with a bunch of indoor seating. There is some sort of fun lighting happening in there, and I think that at times they still do have live entertainment in there, but it's not what it originally was. So there are a lot of different food options in this food court. What we ended up eating, Marcus got the chicken tender jumbo plate with fries and a drink, and I got a cheese pizza boat, basically, also with a drink. And because we wanted to be a little bit healthy, we also got a garden salad entree to split, and that was also the price of an entree. So all this food you see here cost around $50 for a pizza boat, some chicken tenders and fries, a salad, and 2 drinks. And I have to say, as far as the food goes that we've reviewed so far in this episode, this was probably my least favorite. And that doesn't mean that it didn't taste good. I just kind of felt like this is really nothing special whatsoever. For $11, I have definitely had much better pizzas than this. And like I said, I'm sure there are more interesting places to eat in Busch Gardens. This is just where we ended up going. And one nice thing about this place is because it's kind of a food court setup, if you go there with with your family or with a bunch of different people, pretty much everybody is gonna find something they wanna eat there. Final park we're gonna visit in this episode with some big highlights for me is Disney's Animal Kingdom, and we're gonna go there right after this commercial break. And the commercial today is for my book, Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship, available on Amazon for Kindle. Have you ever wondered what happens when you are sneaking a knife through security and you get busted? I tell you all about it in the book. I also tell you a little bit more about my life behind the scenes here as a full-time YouTuber now, and share 10 stories with you about fun and not so fun things that have happened to me around the world on my travels. Some of them you already know, and some of them I have never told anywhere before. So go over to Amazon and look for Stitches on a Cruise Ship, and if you are one of the several hundreds of people who have already downloaded and read the book, please go over and leave me a short review. And you can write something about Morgan-approved bathroom doors in your review, so I'll know that you saw this video. All right, thanks for sticking with me. We are on our way to Disney's Animal Kingdom, which is the newest of the 4 theme parks in Orlando. You're gonna be paying around $115, at least $115 to get inside a Disney park nowadays. And Disney's Animal Kingdom focuses on animals, and just about everything there has to do with some kind of animal experience, be it real life animals or fantasy animals like the Yeti or Avatar. There are so many fantastic dining options in this park. And like I said, there are at all the other parks as well, but I know my way around Animal Kingdom pretty well by now. And one of the places that we went to get a bite to eat on this visit was the Satu'li Canteen in the Pandora section of the park. This is another one of these places that we go every time we're there. I love this place. It's not only good theme park food, but if there was one of these in my neighborhood, I would go here probably once a week. The Satu'li Canteen offers basically bowls that you can put together where you pick your protein, you pick then rice or noodles, and then you pick the other ingredients and a sauce. They put it all together, and it's right in the middle of Pandora, so the atmosphere is also very nice. These are the things that we got that day. Marcus got a shrimp bowl with noodles. You can see there's a little bit of salad, veggies on top, and then whatever sauce he picked out. I got the crunchy tofu bowl, also with noodles and with a different sauce. We also got drinks included with that, and the price was almost $40 for the both of us, including drinks. It's inside, it's air conditioned, there's artwork from the locals. I just really love eating at this place. Have any of you been to Animal Kingdom and not eaten here yet? Highly recommended. The flavors are a little bit exotic. It's definitely, the portions are filling. It's big enough to fill you up, and it feels kind of healthy. And I can also show you 2 other things. This is the kids menu beef bowl that my niece got. So it's a smaller portion. She chose rice. It comes with the same stuff on top. It's just a smaller portion, but one nice thing about it is it comes with an orange juice or a water as well. And we got a little surprise coming up. While we were sitting there, somebody just randomly came around, a cast member, and gave us Mickey cupcakes. That was just a fun little moment of Disney magic that we weren't expecting. So yeah, we split these cupcakes at the table, and it just made it even more special eating there. I can't promise that you're gonna get cupcakes when you go to eat there, but it happened to us, and it was a very special moment. Look at those sprinkles. I want some of those right now. The food also comes in like real bowls, and there's real silverware, and the bowls have this fun shape and color. I am sure that a lot of people make those bowls disappear into their backpacks when they eat at the Satuli Canteen. Honestly, we have never done it yet. Food flavor, fantastic. Atmosphere, really cool. Everything about this place, I just love it. Okay, the final highlight for this video, and this is something that I know a lot of you know, are the gluten-free churros that you can get at this little bar called the Nomad Lounge. This is a place that I'm sure so many people walk past, don't even know it's there. It's attached to a kind of fancy sit-down restaurant, but the Nomad Lounge is also a big insider tip, not only because of the churros, but they also have great cocktails and a great view. These churros are kind of famous within the bubble of Disney fan clubs. A portion of 5 churros with 2 dips, and one of them is, I think, a vanilla dip, and the other one is spicy strawberry, I think. They're gonna cost you around $9, and you can go in and sit down and have some churros and a drink, or you can also order them at the bar to go, which is what we did. And even though they're gluten-free, they are just so good. We got 3 portions of them, and they disappeared like within about a minute and a half, I think. It's just a fun, sugary, crunchy, tasty snack that you can get at Animal Kingdom, and the only thing that would make it better is if they offered some kind of chocolate dipping sauce. I don't know why they don't do that, but hey, first world problems, right?
First world problems.
Okay, I'm going to get to commenting on your comments in just a minute, but I want to tell you what's coming up next week in episode 2, and that is the fantastic Discovery Cove. This place was just blew us out of the water, no pun intended. I can't believe we've been to Florida so many times and never visited Discovery Cove before. So I'm gonna be showing you all the buffet options that we enjoyed there, including breakfast and lunch and snacks. Then we're gonna go over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, where I was a little bit disappointed about the food that we had. Then we're leaving Disney behind to go over to Universal Studios Orlando and Universal's Islands of Adventure. So next week's episode is gonna include all those parks with some highlights like pumpkin juice and the world's most expensive portion of guacamole. But you're gonna have to wait until next week for those, and until then, now comes the time on Sunday Sofatime where I comment on your comments live on air. In last week's Sunday Sofatime, I posted a video called Cruise Lines Face Ridiculous Double Standards While Disney and Universal Are Ignored. And I knew going into this that it was going to create some hot discussions in the comments, and one of the first things I want to talk about is a comment from Patty Schifano. Patty writes, "Why not test everyone entering and exiting those large gatherings, like theme parks and concerts, and they would find a positivity rate that would make cruise ship numbers look minor?" And I can only say, you're right, Patty. That's exactly what I mean. They're saying, oh, look, you know, there's 2,000 people on this cruise ship and 5 people tested positive. It's an outbreak. Cruising needs to stop. But if you tested all 15,000 people that were at the Magic Kingdom yesterday, there's gonna be hundreds, if not thousands of people there who probably have COVID right now. But they're not testing at the theme parks, so there are no positive tests at theme parks. They're all on the cruise ships, but it's only because the cruise ships are testing and the theme parks are not. Second comment I want to talk about is from Kathy Barber. Kathy writes, "I definitely feel safer on a cruise ship where they have multiple health protocols being enforced than I would on any airplane or theme park. Cruising is the only travel industry that needs to report their numbers to the CDC from what I can understand, so they are being targeted unfairly. Anyone who has not been on a cruise would not be able to understand how safe they are due to their cleaning protocols, whether pre-COVID or post-COVID," and I totally agree with this as well. Just points out again the whole subject of that video, that the cruise lines are being treated completely unfairly when you look at the way large gatherings and theme parks are being treated at the moment. That doesn't mean I want one or the other to stop. I'm just pointing out that issue. And when you look at the comments from trolls that are saying, you know, cruise ships have always been floating Petri dishes, you know.
None of those people have ever been on a cruise ship.
So yeah, with me making that video, and I'm so happy that quite a few people have seen it, and I posted it on Facebook and it was shared quite a few times. So I'm trying to use my voice to help inform people about the situation like it really is. Final comment is a piece of advice from Melissa Siegel, and it's something that I've also said to quite a few people who have written to me in the last few weeks. Melissa says, I hope that everyone planning to cruise after visiting the theme parks considers reversing their plans. And that is fantastic advice, because remember, at the moment for the cruises that are happening, and we know a lot of them are being canceled again, but you are still going to have to produce a negative COVID test before you are allowed to board the ship. And spending a week at Disney right now and then going to the cruise port that's kind of like gambling. That's taken a big risk, if you ask me. I think going to any large gathering at the moment, with the way the numbers are rising and how fast this current strain of COVID is going around, going to any sort of theme park or concert or sporting event before your cruise you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So if you are planning any kind of Florida cruise and theme park visit at the moment, do the cruise first and then the theme park. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me this Sunday or whatever day it is while you're watching this. I'm really looking forward for next week's episode where we go to all those other parks and I show you all those other food options, also with some surprises, some good surprises and some not so good surprises. And whatever you end up having for lunch or dinner today, I hope it's tasty. See you soon.